Everybody, my name is Ed. Okay, we're gonna do another random comic walkthrough, and this time it's going to be Vampirella #4 from Harris Comics, written by Grant Morrison and Mark Millar. Yeah. Okay, so this is from 1998, and it's interesting here because this is the fourth issue, but it's the first part of the arc. Okay, so it's called Holy Dogs. Okay, and so here we start off. Here's Vampirella. Looks like she's in some sort of temple, drinking blood or whatever. But in but really, what's going on? She's having some sort of dream, and there's some people here who are kind of this religious cult. You know, I don't think they're supposed to be actual, Christians or Catholics, but there's kind of using some of that imagery. Oh, and I didn't mention the name of the artist. The artist is Lewis Small Jr. and the inker is Rob Stull. Okay. I don't know the whole history of this. I think at some point Harris Comics had bought, let's see here. Harris Comics had bought the rights to use Vampirella from Warren or something like that. But then I think he lost it again. I don't know if it was a case of it had fallen into public domain or he bought the rights or thought he had bought the rights or something happened and he was able to use the character for a while and then he couldn't and somebody came up with a sort of revamp called Vampy or something like that. I don't know all the facts on that, but for a while this was being put out, like I said, by Harris Comics. Publisher is Stanley Harris, and this is when I should probably also mention this is when Grant Morrison and Mark Millar were still friends. They ended up having a falling out after a number of years, but for a while they were really good buddies, and Grant Morrison got he helped Mark Millar break into the business, and they often collaborated things like that. There's also a lot of rumors that some of Mark Millar's comics, some of the things he's actually more known for, probably that Grant Morrison had a bigger hand in writing and scripting than a lot of people. Then people know that he might have actually ghostwritten a few things. But anyway, on with the story. We see these guys talking. They seem to be part of some sort of criminal underworld conspiracy or whatever. And the one guy is talking to the other guy about, hey, you were supposed to capture Vampirella and you let her get away or whatever. And the guy with the mask is kind of telling the story of like what happened. You can tell underneath the his bandages or whatever, he's all scarred up. And he's like, "Oh yeah, these crazy people from the religious cult showed up, and there was a big fight or whatever, and they seem to be some sort of vampire killing nuns or something, but they actually helped save Vampirella because." The nuns are in some sort of war with the criminal underworld guys, the mob conspiracy guys, or whatever they're supposed to be. And here's some more crazy stuff going on, and there's all sorts of fire and destruction and blood going on. And here's Mr. Bandage Guy just letting everybody know how evil he is. Muhahaha! Don't you mess with me! Brah. And here we are back at the convent or whatever it is. Vampirella wakes up and she's calling out the name of Dixie. And Dixie is somebody who's been captured by the bad guys, I guess. And they tell her she can go take a shower, but she's kind of taking a shower in blood, I guess. That kind of rejuvenates her. And she's talking to this old woman. I gotta go save my friend Dixie. Well, you need to let me tell me what's going on. You need to let me tell you what's going on. No, I can't wait around. And here's Vampy walking around in a robe, and of course her robe is like half open because that's what you do, I guess, when you're from a vampire planet. And here's a bandage guy is kind of telling his story here. I don't know if you can notice this. They're just kind of walking by, and some little girl is on a ledge there playing with her balloon. An evil bandage guy just kind of shoves her over, because that's just how evil he is. And he tells the story, his backstory about how he was in, was it World War One? I can't remember right now. It was either World War II or World War One, and he was lost in the battlefield, and he ran across some dude who was just out there, and he's playing cards with the guy, and the guy says, well, if you win, you get whatever you want. If you lose, I get your soul or whatever. And our guys are like, oh, so I guess you lost playing cards with this guy. And of course, it's implied that this guy is probably supposed to be the devil. And our guy is like, well, no, I actually won. I get to live forever. But, living forever is hell. Ah, that type of thing. So anyway, here's Vampirella. Now she's getting suited up. She's wearing like the vampire hunter nun's gear, and it's got all kinds of groovy little attributes here. And here they are getting their weapons together, and here we are ready to take on the bad guys and kick some butt, I guess, or something. And that's pretty much it. So here's some other stuff in the issue. Pencil to Perfection. Oh, okay. Vampirella meets Shy. Written by Warren Ellis, artist by Louis Small Jr. and Mark Morales. This isn't a bad illustration. Here's some letters to the editor, or letters to the comic. All right. More letters. Oh, here's the art of Mark Tietch. I don't know how to say his name. Tazira? I know he's done some art for Marvel and DC for a while. Matter of fact, there's some. Yeah, this is actually Marvel art. This is Spider-Man art here. Right? Okay. Oh, next month blurb. Coming next month, Holy War Part 2. All right. More art. Other fine art pages available. Okay, here's an ad for something called, Pulp, manga from grown-ups. Viz Comics. I do not know the history. Well, I don't know. I'm not even going to get into that. I know Viz Comics or their mangas were pretty popular for a while, but I don't know if the company went under over some, I don't know, bad business deals or something. I don't know what happened to that. I don't know. I'm not a real manga guy. I just vaguely remember hearing something like that. Oh, here's something that looks interesting. Here says special offer, Vampirella Platinum comic offer, and there's a cover by Joe Quesada. Uh, so that looks pretty interesting. It's not a bad cover. And that's pretty much it. An ad for Kabuki by David Mack. He's still around. And then, oh, here's an ad for, it looks like a Wizard World convention, Chicago 98. Who's there? Todd McFarlane, Amanda Connor, Tony Daniel, Rob Liefeld, Jeff Loeb. I don't know who Nelson is. Jimmy Palmiotti, Randy Queen, not too sure about that person. Joe Casada, Alex Ross, Mark Silvestri, Jeff Smith, Billy Tucci, Mike Turner, Mark Wade, and Mike Ringo. I can't say his name, but you know what I'm talking about. Ringo! All right, and that's it. Oh, and what is this? Oh, these look like ads for random things. Battle Chasers, Image Comics, stuff like that. So there. Oh, and there's an ad for more Vampirella. Vampirella Retro, art by Jose Gonzalez. All right. And the back cover is just this. All right. Okay, so that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and you guys have a great day.